some noise for the richest man in the world. Cheers and booze, I say.
So hello everyone from the Kingdom of Thailand. I don't think that one's ever going to roll off the tongue as much as the other places I've stayed. Now, today we're going to be talking about Elon Musk again. You guys remember, a couple of weeks ago, I made a video about how Elon Musk's fans are turning on him because of his takeover of Twitter. Now, in that video, we focused on his fans turning on him, mainly because of how he was handling the takeover, like showing how incompetent he was. But what I didn't focus on so much, although I touched on it, was him basically going mask off conservative. Now, he's been doing this pretty much over the last 2 years, but it's been getting really intense lately, to the extent that he's calling for prosecuting Dr. Fauci and talking about Hunter Biden's laptop. Literally the most bog standard stuff conservative grifters talk about. Like, we made that video on Friday about Ollie London, who's become a conservative grifter, and they've been talking about this as well. Now, it seems pretty weird that you'd even call Elon Musk a conservative grifter. Like, why would the richest man in the world be a conservative grifter? Like someone asked me in the last video, like, what is a grifter? And a grifter is someone who takes political opinions basically for money. And in my mind, Elon Musk combines two things. He combines ego grifting, which I talked about when we spoke about Russell Brand and how Russell Brand has become more right-wing, with actual grifting as well, because the ego grifting is Elon Musk is deeply embarrassing because it's clear he has a need to be liked by as many people as possible. And I guess in terms of like the financial element now, a lot of his old fans have been alienated, although Tesla is still profitable and stuff like that. So he's pandering more to conservatives because he wants like conservative business in terms of like Twitter. He wants to gain favor with like Republican governors of different states. So that explains why he's done such a hard right turn. Like, I strongly believe like most billionaires are like libertarians or conservatives, but Elon Musk's change to like far right American conservative politics is pretty stark no matter what you think of him. And I'm going to make a video at the end of the year about why so many fan bases have turned on like their old favorite idols like Jordan Peterson and Joe Rogan and stuff like that. But with people like Jordan Peterson and Elon Musk, it's pretty much because they've gone completely mask off in terms of being these insane conservatives now. And I think a lot of it also has to do with them both having a crazy Twitter addiction. Like, these two do not stop tweeting. Elon Musk apparently is like the head of multiple companies. Must be the easiest jobs in the world if you can spend like 16 hours a day on Twitter replying to like random accounts. And although Elon Musk still has legions of simps, it's pretty clear now they are pretty much just conservatives, and a lot of his old fans are abandoning him because they liked him for the electric cars in regards to like environmentalism and saving the planet. If you're pandering to Republicans who pretty much still deny climate change, then how are you going to retain that old fan base? So like the video, and I guess for today's question, what is the weirdest downfall you've seen of someone in like the public eye? We're going to talk about Elon Musk getting booed at that Dave Chappelle stand-up show, but surely this is one of the biggest falls from grace in the public eye. But let me know if there's anyone worse. Also, speaking of Elon Musk on Twitter, follow me at the Kavernacle on Twitter, also on Instagram. Instagram is where I post a lot about all my travels. That is all saved in my stories on my Instagram profile. And if you care about that even more, consider becoming a patron. I'm posting about my travels there. I have one video up about Vietnam. I've recorded the Cambodia one. I'm not sure when that's going up. I have so much work to do before the Christmas holidays, so I apologize for the delays on that. Other benefits include getting access to the private patrons Discord server and also getting my Nintendo Switch friend code if you care about any of that stuff. Also, check out my subreddit and check out my second channel down in the description. I doubt there's many of you who are thinking this while watching this. Some of you may be asking, how is Elon Musk right-wing? Doesn't he love electric cars and stuff like that? So I just browsed his Twitter today to just have a look at what he's tweeting about over the last like 48 hours. Who's he interacting with? What kind of tweets is he liking? And I just want to summarize all that to prove to you that Elon Musk is firmly pandering to far-right American conservatives and favoring them, before we talk about like his fan reaction in the subreddit, where a lot of them are growing increasingly frustrated with him seemingly abandoning any pretense of like making the world a better place or solving various issues or even going to space, because he's getting so bogged down in the culture war on the conservative side. And it's for many reasons, none of them good. And to me, the main ones seem to be the richest man in the world wanting to be validated and be told he's also the smartest man in the world, and also someone who has severe Twitter addiction. So this tweet has been doing the rounds, and it's absolutely insane. My pronouns are prosecute / Fauci. Now, if you guys remember, Elon Musk being like a total idiot in regards to the pandemic isn't anything new. He was doing this nearly 3 years ago. And of course, he doesn't like people like Fauci who advocate for like better safety procedures in factories and stuff. Obviously, Elon Musk doesn't like anyone infringing on his ability to make profit. Saying stuff like truth resonates. Now, we're going to get back to this tweet because, of course, a lot of people originally who are fans of Elon Musk are really into science. So when someone like Dr. Fauci, who's an expert in viruses and diseases, is giving recommendations to both the Trump and Biden administrations about the pandemic, they're people who tend to listen. There are like legit criticisms of Dr. Fauci, but to think that he should be prosecuted for anything is totally insane. But this is what I want to talk about first. Someone tweeting at him, "So does a crowd full of booze." Now, we're going to show you the video in a sec, but basically, Elon Musk went on stage at a Dave Chappelle stand-up gig. For some reason, Dave Chappelle brought him up, and he was literally booed off stage. Like, I'm not joking. I think this was one of the worst public booings I've seen, especially because the guy on stage was trying to talk. And by the way, Elon Musk deleted this tweet. How embarrassing. He says, "Technically, it was 90% cheers and 10% booze, except during quiet periods, but still that's a lot of booze," which is a first for me in real life, frequent on Twitter. It's almost as if I've offended San Francisco's unhinged leftists, but nah. Yeah, all those unhinged left-wing communists who love Dave Chappelle, especially after all the transphobia he's been pushing lately. But if you guys want to make up your own mind, if you guys want to see, was it 90% cheers and only 10% booze, here are some clips of this for you. I don't know how much I'm going to show you. I'm actually even getting secondhand cringe thinking about this. And for everything The Simpsons predicted, I didn't think the boo earn scene would actually be a prediction for Elon Musk's future.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the richest man in the world. Cheers and booze, I see. Elon.
Hey, Dave.
Controversy, buddy.
Weren't expecting this, were you?
It sounds like some of them people you fired are in the audience. Hey, wait a minute. Those of you booing. Tough road ahead, like sounds like. But you notice one thing, all those people are booing, and I'm just pointing out the obvious. You have terrible seats.
Like, no wonder he deleted that tweet. He probably shouldn't have written it because he looks even more pathetic, because it's pretty clear there that the majority of people are booing. If you cannot get a word in when you're trying to say stuff because people are booing you so much, then clearly more people are booing than cheering in these videos. Also, Dave Chappelle and Elon Musk are so embarrassing. And what is so hilarious with that clip is not just that Elon Musk is getting booed. Like, that is funny in itself. But it's because, you know, he would be absolutely devastated by that. Like, we're going to show you the next tweet, which he tweeted at 4 a.m. San Francisco time. There's a reason he was up all night thinking about how the communists were ruining his life by booing him at a Dave Chappelle stand-up. But to everyone at that stand-up, even though I don't think Dave Chappelle is funny anyway, and obviously I wouldn't go to a show because of what he's been saying lately, you're all heroes for doing this, for letting Elon Musk know that, yeah, a lot of people do hate him, and all the yes men in conservative circles in his Twitter comments aren't reflections of real life. As many people say, Twitter isn't real life, and I guess in real life, loads of people absolutely hate Elon Musk because he is an absolutely terrible person. So lying awake at night at 4 a.m, Elon Musk tweets this: "The woke mind virus is either defeated or nothing else matters." Again, absolutely hilarious that he's trying to blame everything on woke, whatever that even means to him. And then Tim Pool's co-host saying, "We are either in a mass awakening event or a total collapse of society." Exactly. Again, this stuff makes me laugh so much. Like, what is Elon Musk's problem with the woke mind virus? Like, how does that affect him personally? I mean, I guess, he probably sees it in his like transgender daughter who changed her name from Musk because she's absolutely repulsed by his transphobia and his behavior, but also it's mainly because he's a billionaire. He treats his employees like absolute garbage. He has personally bust unions in Tesla factories. Of course he's going to hate who he perceives as woke, people who advocate for the working class and better rights for others, because he's an exploitative billionaire who made his money on exploiting workers. Then he's tweeting more stuff about Fauci, like some boomer memes he's stolen from like a 66-year-old Trump supporter on Facebook. Just one more lockdown, my king. Fauci being Wormtongue and Joe Biden being like King Theoden. This meme doesn't even make sense. Like, I'm from the UK where we did have like pretty severe lockdowns. Can people let me know what place in America had a lockdown that was equivalent to the UK? A lot of places in America didn't even do anything. And when they did stuff, Biden wasn't even in charge. Donald Trump was in charge and they did stuff. So this meme doesn't even make sense, but of course, it is just absolute pandering. It's throwing red meat to his new rabid conservative fans. But then that's probably why Elon Musk thought Dave Chappelle's stand-up show was a safe space and he'd get lots of applause. That's why it's so funny. He was so shocked that people absolutely hated him. Again, Elon Musk's understanding of woke's pretty funny. Woke versus woke. New York Times union starts one-day strike. So apparently, the New York Times, which is center-right, is woke, and people striking are also woke because they don't like being treated like garbage. Again, woke has become like pretty meaningless. It's just a buzzword these conservatives like. Talking about the Hunter Biden story, and there was something called the Twitter files, which I can't even be bothered to cover. It's such a nothing burger, but he literally thought it'd be like really, really important, and he's devastated the mainstream media don't seem fascinated by it. So because Elon Musk is such a wannabe American conservative, here's his bedside table, apparently with a revolver, a flintlock pistol, in a case with George Washington crossing the Delaware River. So obviously extremely embarrassing. Divorced dad, pandering to conservatives. Then you see stuff like this. What do you think of the culture war? Someone replies, "I think the right needs to start funding more artists, filmmakers, and writers instead of politicians. You don't win a naval war without any ships. You can't win a culture war without any culture. We've been reacting too long time to get on the offensive. I am neither conventionally right nor left." Of course you're not right, but I agree with your point. The woke mind virus has thoroughly penetrated entertainment. There needs to be a counter narrative. This is funny because a guy like Elon Musk, who claims to love cyberpunk as a genre and sci-fi so much, which is historically made by left-wing woke people, is now saying that you need more right-wing garbage in films. Elon Musk, I doubt you're going to go see that terrible Daily Wire film starring Gina Carano. So Scott Kelly responding to "My pronouns are prosecute Fauci. Elon, please don't mock and promote hate towards an already marginalized and at risk of violence members of the LGBTQ plus community. They are real people with real feelings. Furthermore, Dr. Fauci is a dedicated public servant whose sole motivation was saving lives." And Elon Musk also responding to Scott Kelly, "I strongly disagree. Forcing your pronouns upon others when they didn't ask and implicitly ostracizing those who don't is neither good nor kind. As for Fauci, he lied to Congress and funded gain of function research that killed millions of people. Not awesome in my opinion." Again, total lies about Dr. Fauci there. Where is this evidence that he funded stuff that killed millions of people? So someone responding to this, "The tide is turning against wokeness." Elon saying, "Many battles remain, but yes, the tide is starting to turn on the moral threat to civilization." That is the woke mind virus. I would say billionaires buying up social media platforms and increasingly gaining power and treating their employees like total garbage is a bigger threat to people than left-wing politics. I mean, left-wing politics are fundamentally a massive threat to Elon Musk himself. And then Elon Musk just like liking stuff from like Ian Miles Chong, replying to people like Tom Fitton. Obviously, libs of TikTok he's promoting, talking about their shadow ban and how Twitter will be better in the future. So that was just me like browsing Elon Musk's Twitter this morning while I was planning for this video. Whenever you're watching this, if it's a couple days later, a week later, whenever, go check his Twitter now. I bet you can see similar things. Go have a look at his Twitter likes. Go have a look at who he's interacting with. He says he's not conventionally left or right, while exclusively talking to like some of the most insane conservatives in America and agreeing with their point of view and pandering to them by talking about Dr. Fauci needing to be prosecuted for killing millions of people. Because everyone who believes that is totally not conventionally right-wing, aren't they? So when I made a video about his fans turning on him, I looked to Reddit last time to see what his like hardcore fans were saying about him. Now you can still find, just like on Twitter, legions of simps thinking Elon Musk is always playing 4D chess and he's the greatest man ever and he's, you know, the smartest guy who ever lived. But increasingly what you see is genuine people turning on him. Because the subreddit is public, you do get people who aren't fans of Elon Musk going in there and saying stuff about him, right? So I have purposely tried to avoid that. I've tried to find the comments where it's pretty clear or it's likely that it is a genuine comment from someone who either does like Elon Musk or previously liked Elon Musk before his Twitter takeover and before, like we're talking about in this video, going mask off, far-right conservative. And like I was saying before, like cast your mind back to 10 years ago, what's the appeal of Elon Musk? The appeal of Elon Musk is Tesla cars, is thinking about the future, is thinking about, I don't know, exploring space, saving the planet from climate change, and in part doing that through Tesla cars. And people bought into this whole cult of Tesla, people bought into this whole cult of Musk, thought he was awesome, thought he was funny. And I would say most people who liked Elon Musk back in the day weren't conventional Republican voters. Sure, you may have like some libertarian or maybe even conservatives, but I would say most of his fans tended to skew more liberal. But I wouldn't say any leftists have ever really liked Elon Musk, to be honest. Now let's get into some of the conversations in his subreddit and see how hardcore Elon Musk fans are taking him basically going mask off, far-right conservative, even saying stuff like prosecute Dr. Fauci. So here's a post from today. Is Elon heading towards a Kanye moment? Feels like his social media clownery is going over like a lead balloon with many in the core Tesla customer base, e.g. the libs who care about climate change and buy EVs as a result, and his Twitter advertisers who hate free speech apparently. The more outrage people express, the more he doubles down. Is he driving full speed towards a cliff, or is he going to succeed in building a brand around dehumanizing his customer base? I don't know what the hell he's trying to do, but he's hurting my Tesla shares in the process. So I've always been pretty impressed with Musk, but after these past few months, I'll never buy a Tesla, subscribe to Twitter, or give that raging nut a dime if I can help it. He definitely seems to be getting more out there. I hope he's not as desperate for people to like him as he appears to be, because that humiliation at the Chappelle gig won't have helped. I imagine with the issues DC had recently had with the trans stuff, he calculated his crowd would be into him. What does a billionaire do when they realize they can't buy popularity? I'm sad to say, I think it's likely he'll get worse. I don't think he'll be as bad as Kanye. It seems people go into downward conspiracy spirals. The more controversial they are and the more hatred they get, the more they double down and look for more if they can't admit they're wrong. Or at least that's what I've seen personally. His flirtation with crazy MAGA is not reassuring. He used to be seen as a heroic innovator, which is starting to clash with his recent regressive, unfuturistic political beliefs. So obviously, maybe there is some hope for Elon Musk fans, but there are legions of simps to counter these people who are getting mad at his like childish political antics. But someone else wrote, Elon Musk is killing me right now. I'm an aerospace engineer and a big space nerd. I used to love Elon Musk for the huge leaps in the space industry his company is making. Even the NASA employees I know say that he is probably the greatest thing to ever happen to the space industry. Unfortunately, he now sounds like a watered-down Alex Jones on Twitter. It's almost like he's trying to be hated. I just pray that him acting totally unhinged doesn't slowly destroy his companies. So someone saying, I've been a fairly big Tesla investor since the IPO, donated significant amount of money to the inspiration flight that SpaceX did with St. Jude's. I was a huge supporter of Musk and his endeavors, but I also happen to be an emergency trauma nurse. His stance on COVID and Fauci is horrible. I've literally taken care of people as they die from this virus. Had a coworker die from it and an aunt. My coworker was healthy in his 60s. Dude was still running half marathons. 1 minute these deniers are saying it's not even a real thing and no one's dying, and the next minute they're accusing Fauci of helping create a bioweapon. Like, which is it? Musk has gone off the deep end, unfortunately. He's even started to try and backtrack on climate change stuff, saying he's not necessarily a climate change alarmist. His only saving grace right now, politically, is that he doesn't seem to buy into Trump's Stop the Steal BS. Someone also replied to the post, same, I was a huge fan of his accomplishments in the EV and space sectors. This ridiculous turnabout is so disappointing. I don't know what happened to him, but it looks like he has lost his mind. I hope he finds his way back to doing good work again. I agree with you. I unfollowed him on Twitter last night. I missed the days of car and space talk. I'm just glad there are so many content creators I can get good info from. I did the same last night. The Fauci comment was the last straw of many. I thought to myself, why am I still following him? The whole reason I even started was to get SpaceX updates. Don't even get those anymore. Just an eyeful of woke mind virus and Democrats are bad. Sounds like my brainwashed parents. Made me realize he either brainwashed himself or actively trying to brainwash more people. I was just about to post the same thing. I'm worried he is slowly losing sight of his goals for space and renewable technology. I mean, at this point, the company should be self-sustaining, but we know the speed of progress will be much faster with Elon being the eccentric innovator that propels things along. I actually think they'll do far better without him. I just hope he doesn't completely self-destruct and bring everything crashing down with him. Watching him over the past few years, and especially this past one, has reminded me that no one knows it all, even a once well-intentioned genius. Mastery of multiple domains doesn't mean you are capable of always getting everything right. I used to think he could do no wrong. Now I understand he is just as human and fallible as the non-genius is. A mortal W, many flaws. He disappoints more now than most because of his self-made crises at Twitter. Someone else saying, there's still people here wondering why he's getting so much stuff thrown at him lately, and I hope this will answer your doubts. The guy went inside a hardcore conspiracy rabbit hole and he's surrounded by yes men and lunatic right-wingers that fuel his ego. There's no way in which his kind of behavior won't impact the well-being of Tesla and SpaceX. For me personally, it's so sad to see a genius ruin his reputation like this. Yeah, actually concerned about my Tesla purchase now. The past few years and hundreds of tweets make me realize Musk was never a genius. He hires very smart people for SpaceX, but the guy isn't a genius. He's a narcissist with a fragile ego that needs it stroked daily. It's so sad. He is ruining everything he has built and stands for just for lame-ass social network. All he had to do was shut up and don't tweet. Elon is in a downward spiral, so disappointing. Elon has lost touch with reality. I can't believe I used to respect this man. SpaceX is cool, but it just goes to show being smart in one thing does not mean you aren't a complete dipshit about everything else. Man, I've been a hardcore Elon fan forever, but even this one made me pause. Same, except for the past month or so, he's become a bit unhinged. So this was the final straw for me. I've deleted the app and now I'm killing my online access too. I'm 66 years old and have seen a lot of businesses collapse in my life, but I've never seen someone buy a company and run it into the ground at a loss of 44 billion. Certainly loves to stir things up. His antics have persuaded me to delete the app and take Tesla off any consideration for my next car replacement. Similar, I own a Tesla and was fully planning on a second one for my wife. Now I'm no longer considering it. So unlike the ones where people were turning on Elon Musk for how incompetent he was like running Twitter initially and probably still is. It's not being reported on as much at the moment. I find a lot of those comments really, really interesting. They all revolve around Dr. Fauci. And I think that gets to the issue because initially with the purchase of Twitter, what Elon Musk was doing so poorly was he was just treating his employees like garbage, like firing loads of people, then asking loads of them to come back because he realized he needed them. Twitter just running really poorly, all the stupid stuff about the check marks and like backing down on things like Twitter subscription being like $20, then apparently just being $8 because Stephen King complained about it being $20. It was a complete mess. And they're basically like, well, Elon is acting like an idiot and it's making Elon Musk look bad. And by extension, it's making us look bad. But what I found interesting about those comments is that it's people like, I care about SpaceX. I care about Tesla. I like these products. I believe in the mission of these companies. And it seems Elon Musk no longer believes in this, because how can he? He's completely doubting like reality now. He's talking about prosecuting Fauci. And like I said, a lot of these people love science, right? They are scientists. That guy said he works for Starlink and stuff like that. And you see the guy who like owns these companies turn around and say like, oh yeah, we should prosecute the leading medical expert in the United States who's worked for like every president since Ronald Reagan. Literally helped the US so much because he's such an expert in these things. Again, not perfect, not a saint. I don't believe in like making people these absolute heroes in society, as liberals often do, like Dr. Fauci or Ruth Bader Ginsburg. But it's hard to deny this guy has had a positive impact on the world. And now apparently your science-loving God, the guy who will usher humanity into a better future, is now saying that he's killed millions of people and we should prosecute him and lock him up. And I actually thought about this when I initially saw that tweet. I was like, this isn't going to go down well with his fans, because for all the stuff Elon Musk does, I can totally see how his hardcore simps can rationalize a lot of the terrible things he does in terms of like how he treats his employees. A lot of them will say, well, Elon Musk is unconventional. He just wants results. And because they love his, supposed vision so much, they're prepared to throw workers under the bus. But when you start doubting like reality, start doubting science by saying stuff about Dr. Fauci in this way, I understand why these people are getting very skeptical of Elon Musk. And I do like to see some of them saying, they won't buy Tesla cars anymore. And they're seriously worried about him, and they're realizing he's completely unhinged now. And although I've always hated Elon Musk, I've been making videos about him for like nearly 5 years on this channel, talking about how much I hate him. It is pretty clear that he's gotten worse and worse and worse over the last decade. Like, it started to kind of appear in 2018 with that Thailand stuff. It then got worse and worse during the pandemic. And now with him buying Twitter, his brain is just like absolutely rotted by social media. And this guy always wanted to be liked. And he used to have that. Like, he was fairly uncontroversial as a rich person. Like, he had loads and loads of fans who believed in all his companies and his projects. And most of the left wing, hated him as a billionaire, but didn't really care about him that much. But now what he's doing is firmly pandering to a bunch of extremists on the conservative right, while alienating his old fans. And that also really reminds me of Jordan Peterson, who built his reputation on, lectures about the Bible or psychology and stuff like that, or philosophy, and then has also done a turn like Elon Musk. No wonder they probably would get on so well, spending all their days on Twitter promoting insane conspiracy theories. So although I wish these people turned on Elon Musk like 5 years ago when he was union busting in Tesla factories, at the same time, I am happy a lot of them are waking up. But the sad thing is they're now being replaced by legions of conservative fans, and Elon Musk is firmly pandering to these fans because he needs validation, he needs popularity, and because a lot of people from the past are now abandoning him, now he's going in that direction. And honestly, I think he's going to get even worse, to be honest. But I do wonder if the Dave Chappelle thing will make him rethink how he's acting. Let me know in the comments. Do you think being so publicly embarrassed, he even deleted the tweet about it, do you think that will make him take a step back? Or is he going to double down and say, well, the woke mind virus is ruining society. That's why I got booed at Dave Chappelle's stand-up show. But yeah, in conclusion, the downfall of Elon Musk isn't a downfall really in terms of him being popular in some way or another. The downfall is he's becoming less popular in the eyes of people who probably matter to him more. Like, it's really easy to get popular grifting to conservatives. It's a lot harder to get popular with like the general public or people from a variety of political backgrounds, because then you probably have to have something interesting to say. But now everyone just sees this guy just does everything for attention. He does it for popularity, and he's just totally embarrassing and unfunny. It just seems like a guy who's going through a midlife crisis. But the fun thing is, he's also the richest man on earth who now owns one of the most popular social media sites, which he posts on 24/7. Like, many people go through midlife crises when they get divorced, when they don't get to see their children anymore and stuff like that. Rarely does it get captured in 4K for like the whole world to see. But anyway, if you ever see Elon Musk in public, please boo him as well. I think everyone needs to remind him that Twitter isn't real life and most people hate you. And let me know what you guys think about all this down in the comments. And if you made it this far, thank you for watching.